Not good. Is this what we're going to have to deal with all the time? I'm sure it is. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Colonial Dungeon. We are finally here. It is finally time. Welcome to the Grapplies, the Court-Martail podcast Grapplies, as well as we are being cohabitated with TAW Gaming's JoshAgeddon. It is me, your Colonial Champion, Sean McCarty, joined by the Bay-Area Brawler, Skylar Greenberg. And we are here having a great time. What happened to Joshua, Sky?
I don't know.
He disappeared.
He disappeared.
But you know what?
South Carolina had a horrific event just happen.
Well, he must have lost Wi-Fi because this does happen from time to time. My internet just went out is exactly what he said. And we haven't really started yet because I did post that this was going to start at around the 7:45 mark. So we have a little time to get our shit together. Sky, how are you here on this Christmas day? And what was your Chinese order? You have not answered this question.
My Chinese what?
Your order of Chinese food for today. Is that not tradition?
It was dim sum.
How was it?
It was very good.
Tell me what you had.
Dumplings, pork dumplings, the best.
Hell yeah. I love shrimp and pork dumplings. I'm a big fan of dumplings. I mean, I said wontons before we started. You know, I was tempted to get wonton soup the other day. My mom I got Chinese, but I'm more of like a lo mein guy, and I'll just sit and just dick around with that for 2 or 3 days if I get enough of it.
So here's the question. How long will it take for Joshua to get his shit back together?
I'm not even sure. Wow. Damn. Well, we will wait patiently until 7:45, and then if it gets to be 7:45, we will just catch JoshAgeddon up once he is able to arrive. I think is the way that we do that. But
now the question is, how did his Wi-Fi crash?
Well, it could be a variety of things. Sometimes you make a prediction that your Wi-Fi is going to be fine. Sometimes you make a prediction that Windows 11 is going to keep the entire app of Bluetooth on your laptop. And then sometimes you just wake up to find out that the world just tells you no.
Oh man. Why is it all relevant?
Well, sadly it is. How are you feeling, by the way, Sky? Sky, you were under the weather for a good chunk of time, my friend. And it's nice.
I was legitimately sick for a month with pneumonia.
Yeah, and it was pretty. Well, that wasn't even the only thing that happened during that time. I mean, I don't want to get into any of the graphics, but between getting the repeated doctor visits, and well, you better tell the story better than me.
I mean,
he's here.
Oh,
okay.
But you're in the
man,
distance.
The myth, the legends.
I hate technology.
Hey, Boomer, calm down.
Don't you okay, Boomer, me, you sick freak.
I think that was targeted at me, but yeah.
Okay, Zoomer.
Anyway, Morty. Here we are at the Grapplies, and we are 4 minutes early, which is tremendous. In most respects, you want to be 4 minutes early, except in one place, and you all know where I'm talking about. But we are here to take our time and have a great time as we go through our. Can you believe it, gents? This is and there's part of the Skylar sickness we were talking about before JoshAgeddon returned to us from the land of the dead. We've
blame Comporium. Comporium sucks.
Well, can you believe?
I was telling you that I was downloading 2K25 because modern games you have to wait 4 hours before you play the game. I just turned my Xbox off to conserve power in my house.
Well, sometimes that's what's got to be done. Hold on, let me wipe your face here real quick.
Wipe my tears.
That's right. Cry it, and that's real class. Cry me a river. But
yeah. Oh god.
But in any case, well,
dude,
here we are.
Wipe my tears, and now we're going to talk about 25, and all three of us are going to be crying.
It's the 6th annual Grapplies, and boy, this was the hardest list to compile. Now, for those of you who have been here for forever, we have done the Grapplies for 6 years, where we have culminated our wrestling viewership throughout the year, most of which you can find in review form either on this channel or TAW Gaming. Both places have them. Sometimes we can't be bothered, or I can't be bothered to edit, and sometimes it just
had one last year, but my stuff broke.
Yes, something that has already threatened the integrity of this stream, as as is custom with the Grapplies. But the way this works is that we have 13 categories. We're going to give the best of each category and the worst of each category. And we've got two wonderful belts here for those of you watching at home. This here is the Grapply. This is for the worst of the category, and it is the same one that we have had since we started. And then we have the Court-Martail Podcast Best Grapply, the actual Grapply Award. And the winner of the Grapply gets this fine belt. And by get, I mean just has it shown in their general direction. We have yet to mail them anything, but they have yet to pay us for the spot. So, you know, the ball's in their court, really, the way I see it, guys. So, in any case, would you like to get
you don't get the award until you pay the $1, you know?
That's right. And considering the cash rules, everything around me, Cream, get the money, dollar bill, yo. Let's get into this.
And a bunch of cringy white boys.
That's right.
Joshua, would you want it any other way?
Honestly, no.
Yes.
I like
exactly.
it when I'm like WWE. I like it when our audience is in pain.
Well, by the end of this night, you too shall be exposed as a pasty, nerdy white boy.
Oh God!
As if both of our audiences don't already know.
Yes, that's right. Oh, you didn't know? Your ass may want to call somebody.
No, we're not doing the Road Dogg bit. His writing for SmackDown sucks.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages.
Oh my God.
Okay, now.
That's right.
Move over to the other guy. He's on AEW for some reason.
Oh God.
We gotta steal all our material. Is that how it's gonna be, Sean?
Well, seeing how you mentioned daddy ass, let's start with a bad category because let's talk about something that's ass.
Okay.
Which covers a lot of ground in 2025.
Covers the whole damn year pretty much.
That's right. Let's start with the worst men's match of the year. Let's start with something big because we typically don't, and I think it's worthwhile to do so here in this situation. So let us begin with the worst. Your nomination, Skylar, for the worst men's match of the year.
Oh boy, there are several good nominations I could have for this one.
Yes, there are.
I could go WWE, I could go AEW, I could go New Japan Pro Wrestling. Although, who cares about Japan at this point?
I assume Japan does. I don't follow it really, but Tony Khan does. Tony loves Japan.
I'm sure he does.
No, I'm sure he does. I'm positive he does. He makes that point clear.
Let's be clear about something, okay? Worst men's match, I'm going to pick an AEW match because I'm unoriginal.
Oh, yeah.
And what was supposed to be a culmination was really just another, we're doing this shit again. Jon Moxley versus Adam Hangman Page.
Which one?
How many times do we have to see this match?
Yeah, exactly my point.
Good?
I assume you're talking about the one at All In.
Yes, of course that one. The one where Jon Moxley lost the title finally to Adam Page to culminate him and make him the main character of AEW.
For him to only hold the title for a couple of months before immediately losing it to Samoa Joe. Yeah, that one.
Exactly.
Thanks, Tony.
But have you guys seen this match?
I have.
Go ahead.
Okay, Sean. Joshua, is it a good match?
You're going to hate me. I actually did enjoy it.
Well, that's because
there were things I had criticisms of, like the whole Darby Allin, them randomly showing a video on the Tron of Darby Allin on Mount Everest for no reason. The Mount Everest pop-in was stupid, and the whole thing, like, there were some stupid things, but it was basically a poor man's WrestleMania 40 Cody Rhodes Roman Reigns situation.
That's exactly my point, is that they basically cut, beat, and paste, and I hate it when they copy and paste. Now, you may get your next selection.
You're passing the con to me, Skylar?
Yes, I am.
Okay. There are two matches that I have in consideration for worst men's match of the year. One is WWE, one is AEW.
Go on.
I'm gonna list the runner-up. John Cena versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41.
I
match
understand
itself
why you say
was-
this.
The reason why I'm not nominating this one is because the match itself was fine. It wasn't awful. It wasn't bad. It was perfectly fine. But oh my God, that finish.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Probably spoiling something later on, but that is one of the worst finishes to a match in WWE. It was astronomically terrible. And it basically killed the show. It was that bad. That whole nonsense.
Killed the weekend.
Scott,
really?
It basically deflated the year. Well, that's not true. That and someone else who we'll be talking about a lot, especially when Crapleys are concerned, deflated the entire year. But man, the finish of that match was so bad. It is the worst finish to a WWE match in a long time. But again, the match leading up to it was good. My worst match of the year is a match that sucked up and down, and the finish was astronomically terrible. My pick is Jon Moxley, sensing a theme here, versus Adam Copeland at Revolution.
Oh, you're talking about the one where Copeland broke his leg?
No, that was Copeland versus Malachi Black in a cage match.
Okay. Oh, wait, this was the one where Copeland tried to be like a big star and he wasn't.
No, well, that's every Adam Copeland match. This was the one where they like the whole 15 hours prior, you saw literally everything you can possibly see in wrestling multiple times. And then Adam Copeland and Jon Moxley were like, yeah, we'll follow that. Despite the fact that they're both broken. Well, they're not old, but they are broken down. And they had a boring, lifeless, dull-ass match with Jon Moxley's inability to care or sell. And then, because neither guy wanted to, like, both of them did not want to lose the match. So the solution was Christian coming in with his totally not money in the bank, cashing in just so Jon Moxley could choke him out.
Oh, it was this match. Okay.
That match was so bad. And the Revolution honestly was not a terrible show, but it was like they were like, huh. So the Cody Rhodes John Cena match had an awful, like, all-time terrible finish. Here's ours. So my pick for worst match of the year for the men is at Revolution, Adam Copeland versus Jon Moxley for the AEW title. It was truly horrendous. Bad match, all-time terrible finish.
Well, that one of those two matches is going to win. I know that mine is not going to because my nominations are nowhere in the realm of those. Right. And by the fact that I have avoided AEW like it is cancerous, like it's a lead factory. So I haven't watched any of this material. I've, of course, seen peripherally, but this year I really wanted to try and just limit it to what I've seen. Because I don't want to just be like, oh, well, Moxley sucks because it's the thing to say that he sucks. I know it's true. I'm not saying it's not true, but like I didn't see it.
Don't be ashamed of the truth, Sean.
No, I'm not. But I'm just I'm ashamed of what they did to R-Truth, but that's a different story. But that could be something that ends up being discussed later. But my nomination for this is because I saw this match and I didn't like it, but it was there. And then I thought about it more and I thought about like the stupid stuff that was in it and the finish that was just and what it signified and so my worst selection for the men's match is a WWE match, and it is not Cody and Cena with Travis Scott doing the whatchamacallit. It is instead Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa in the cage match.
Oh.
The one at SummerSlam that we told you was bad, but you tried to say was okay.
I coped hard on that match, but man, it is a rough rewatch. Or it was. I won't have any access to the tape library anymore because they're getting rid of all that, and I'm not spending the money to get it.
When we both shat on it, you were like, "Oh, how could you?"
I tried,
guys.
I tried. Listen, I tried, but it's the fake handcuffs. That's what it was. The ones that were broken like a tenth of a second. Like they broke before.
Didn't they, like, accidentally break?
Yeah, they did. They broke before Jacob Fatu could actually break them. And look, there were, but again, nothing that I've seen will compare to some of the dreck that AEW has dragged across professional wrestling over the past year. So I will openly abdicate my nomination just for the sake of saying that there's probably worse of either of those selections, both of which were bad. But I think the longer that Moxley ran, the worse it got. So I would argue that Adam Page taking the title off of him, even though it wasn't the guy that I would have chosen, even though it wasn't the guy that I have any respect for, even though it was like a year and a half too late, I feel like Revolution was worse. I'm not saying Edge should have won the belt, but if you were going to do anything to resurrect his momentum, that would have been it.
What really clinches it for me is it's 2025 and you have two guys that are like, no, I don't want to lose. And it got to the point where Christian was like, fine, I'll be the adult. I'll cash in my thing.
Right.
And I'll lose for both of you.
I forgot about the temper tantrums around that. Yeah.
Given the context of the temper tantrums and the fact that neither of those guys didn't want to do business, and to the point where Christian had to sacrifice his own push for Edge. Oh my God, where have I heard that before?
That's their whole career, bro.
I will give it to you with John Moxley versus Copeland, but it's razor thin.
It is.
What's really funny about that is look at Christian, the leader of the patriarchy, being the dad of being the only adult in the room. It makes sense.
In AEW, yeah.
Well, because there's hardly any adults in that room, and the ones that are adults are ignored. So
and their hardcore rematch where Edge suplexed him on that spike and it was stuck in his skin because John Moxley's an idiot. That was also bad.
Oh yeah, that could be one of the worst moments of the year.
At least Edge was okay with losing that match. There's a reason I had John Cena hospitalize him on my show. Just saying.
That is, in fact, why it happened. As we now move on to a grapply, I think we should move on to some happiness, shouldn't you? I won't keep us in the dregs for forever. Let's move to the best tag team of the year.
Okay.
Now, the reason I chose best... Now, the reason JoshAgeddon is laughing is that I said... well, first of all, because I'm abstaining from the entire tag team category, because I've watched 2 tag team matches all year. The first was the best of 3 falls match that was good and deserved more respect between the DIY and the Motor City Machine Guns at the Rumble. And then the Elimination Chamber tag match. I've seen a lot of women's tag matches, and I'm not counting any of them because women's tag team wrestling is cursed. And you cannot dispute it. Well, let alone whether it's good or bad. It's just cursed.
Yes.
And so I am abstaining from a vote on this one. So I can be a judge. Maybe just if you convince me that it's good, maybe I will give you my persuading vote. But let's start with JoshAgeddon this time. Your tag team of the year.
Sean, I regret to inform you that tag team wrestling is deceased.
I'm abstaining from my vote. Don't you think I'm aware?
Yeah.
I used to love tag team wrestling. Now they're curtain jerking on my program. And that is, in fact, why it happened.
I will give one honorable mention. I do like AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. They have meshed very well.
Indeed, they have.
I do like them. But that was like the last third of the year. So that doesn't really count. I'm going with the Hardy Boys. They have been doing great stuff on TNA, great stuff in NXT. They're the TNA Tag Team Champions, the NXT Tag Team Champions. They have a couple tag team titles from some independent promotions. They're basically if Mercedes Moné had an older brother and was also good. So that's basically what they're doing. And not only that, they're a big reason as to why TNA got that TV deal with AMC.
True.
So I'm going with the Hardy Boys in 2025.
Well, and I will have to say this: it's kind of hard to call them Hardy Boys when they're both like parents. You know,
Hardy dudes.
They're the hard dads.
Hard dads.
So Matt and Jeff, the hard dads, and good for them. Honestly, I've always liked Matt. You both know this. I've always been more partial for Matt. I'm happy for Jeff that he's gotten his shit together yet again. Mm-hmm. And the fact that they are able to, mend the relationship with WWE is also good. It's so I'm good for you guys. I appreciate the Hardys putting in the kind of work they are with some competence behind them. Skylar?
My nomination is Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, but I'm voting for the Hardys.
Good job, Hardys. You have won. So wait. So you mean to tell me that in the first 2 awards, Edge, Jeff, and Matt Hardy have all won? Way to put over.
What does that say about 2025? That the first 3 grapplies going out are Edge, Matt, and Jeff.
It goes to show that is an indictment
for a good reason, okay?
Yeah, and and it might not be the only one he wins.
That we will see.
We will see. All right, let's keep in with the positivity here.
All right,
and let's move on to promo of the year. Now, promo of the year is not what one promo was really good that set the stage or did whatever. This is a who's been the
best on the mic.
Who's the best on the mic in 2025? And I will lead this one off and say that for me, the winner of this is consistency. Hasn't taken any time off, has been fed some like non-material, but has still been at least tried to find a way to make it work. He's still the most believable of anyone, even though, again, despite the booking surrounding him, it hasn't really mattered for this guy, and it's only just gotten better, I think, with time. You know, he's has been the best for a while. My vote is CM Punk.
I figured you would go with CM
Punk.
That is a good point.
And let's move on to Skylar as I write down the winner of the last one.
So the thing I'm going to say right now is that I'm going to allow myself to be a fanboy, okay?
Go on.
And because of that, and both of y'all know who my favorite wrestler is, and the fact that we got to see some new stuff from him this year, and I didn't know he had it in him, but I'm going to give it to him because some of the stuff that he was talking about was really good and really made me hate him, which is saying something because it was retirement year. John Cena.
Jonathan Cena. The audacity.
That's one of the programs he thinks it.
Exactly.
Listen, the heel stuff was good. Let's be honest. For the most part, it was good. He made people hate him.
He tried his best with what he was given, although some of what he was given just decided never to show up again.
Right. We're not going to get into the Rock stuff because that will take up the entire show. But the point is that John Cena tried. He went from being loved to hated to loved again.
Let this sink in. After the Elimination Chamber, the next time we saw The Rock was on a video package during Saturday Night's Main Event when John Cena retired. That literally.
That is pathetic.
Year, except for that.
Listen, I get the hatred. I'm not spotlighting him. Let's move on.
So my pick for promo of the year, I think Cody Rhodes has had a really good year despite some of the stuff he's had to work with. I think CM Punk has had a good year. But there's one guy who I have honestly loved watching cut promos this year. And we have our winner of this Grapply automatically because my pick is also John Cena. This dude was a killer on the mic this year. Even though a lot of his heel turn was questionable because of certain things. He
wasn't his fault.
That was not his fault, and he was doing his absolute damnedest. And he has like over the past like decade, he has really stepped up his promo game, and it might have to do with acting in a lot of movies. It's really helped him. But man, he's just watching him cut people down and using references that only he can get away with. My favorite was probably when he turned around the pipe bomb on CM Punk on SmackDown that one time before their match at Night of Champions. It was incredible. I loved John Cena on the mic this year.
Well, and it really takes a lot of artistry to try and find a way to pull, to, how do I put it, to give the media soft answer in his promo to, well, The Rock kind of fucked us over, so we're just going to drop all this shit. And to say it in a promo where he was kind of redirecting it towards like, I was misled into, quick action television, and then I had, and now you've brought me back towards the light. That took some master craftsmanship on the microphone to pull that off. And so kudos to you, John Cena. I don't remember the last one of these John has won. I don't know if he's ever won one, actually. Is this your first, John?
He hasn't, because he hasn't been a full-timer for the time that he's been wrestling for the last 5 or 6 years. So we have to appreciate him in this final year because we're not going to get another shot.
Also, I love that their canon explanation for his heel turn was R-Truth saying he just went crazy for a while. And if anyone who knows a thing or two about going crazy for a specific period of time, it is R-Truth.
It sure is. Now, would you like to hear what last year's winners of these categories have been?
Oh, no.
Sure.
The worst men's match was the Battle of the Usos at WrestleMania 40.
Deserved.
The best tag team of the year, because there was hardly anybody else, was the Bloodline 2.0 before that got ruined and turned into motherfucking tokens or whatever they're named.
My tokens, Tongans.
And
my token Tongans.
And then the best promo of the year went to Drew McIntyre, and that was so deserved. He had a hell of a year that year. Well, now let's move on to mediocrity.
Oh no.
As we are going to go to the worst. Let's do the worst feud of the year. And let's start again with Skylar.
All right. So I'm going to spotlight this one, and it's kind of hard because there was a lot of people involved, but I'm just going to go with the general concept of the Death Riders versus AEW.
What was John Moxley trying to save people from again, or the company, or take over, or not take over?
He was trying to take over the company and make it so it's better by making it tougher, quote unquote, something.
You remember that text message you sent me from someone who shall not be named yesterday, Sean, and it was incomprehensible? It was John Moxley's promos were incomprehensible, so I'm not sure why they were feuding or what they were feuding over or what the point of his group was, because everything John Moxley said was incomprehensible.
Well, I have a feeling that he's going to be getting another one of these pretty soon once we get back to promos.
It might be sooner than you think, Sean. Can I go next?
Yes, please do.
My worst feud of the year is also John Moxley and the Death Riders versus AEW. That shit stunk so bad. It actively chased off viewers.
Well, it did. I mean, it was more like a ratings killer.
When we are like, thank God, Hangman Adam Page won. That's how you know. When we're like, oh, at least that's over, and the positive is Hangnail. Yikes.
Well, and Moxley barely evaded winning this one last year, which was won by Tony Khan versus the Elite.
Oh, God.
But I will put my nomination, even though it's not going to win, and I know this is shocking that I would put this man into a worst category, but considering how many matches they had between last year and this year, considering what the end result was, and considering how little it meant overall and the damage it inflicted, my nominee for this is Jey Uso versus Gunther.
Oh, that's a good pick. That is a good pick.
Because it did a lot of damage. It did a lot of damage.
Jey Uso did a lot of damage to everything this year.
Well, but it didn't help that they had Gunther beat him 4 times first. And then when they had the rematch, when Gunther came back, he beat him in a heartbeat. Like, what was the point? And then Jey never defended the belt. Like,
nope.
He was a transitional champion.
But, again, everything AEW touches turns to garbage. Everything John Moxley touches turns to garbage. So it's a non-comparison. But if we were going, but I just want to put a WWE nominee in the fold because somebody got to get their finger pointed at.
Yeah, I mean, if we were doing WWE nominations, I would do the Bloodline versus Solo Sikoa. Sorry, MFTs versus Solo Sikoa.
Yeah.
Or the MFTs versus the Wyatt Six.
Oh dear God.
That's pretty bad too.
Yeah, I'm not paying any attention to that. It's
Skip.
Yeah,
Skip.
it's all Skip now. It's all Skip.
I
now
treat
for me.
that like women. I skip them.
Well,
Oh God, Joshua.
well, let's. You know what? While we're on the topic, let's talk about the worst women's wrestler. Okay, seeing how we're going, let's go right into that. Last year's.
Who do I pick?
Well, last
you
year.
know who's gonna win, right?
Well, last year's winner
I-
was Mercedes Moné.
I don't know who's going to win this time, honestly, because there's so many good options.
Well,
I don't
Joshua,
know
it is your turn to start.
Well, I have a runner-up and who I'm actually picking. Runner-up is Charlotte Flair because she was the first instance of, oh my God, why'd you let this one win the Royal Rumble? That was like the first, like, there's something wrong with this year. And then she went on and went out of her way to sabotage her entire feud with Tiffany Stratton, including and not limited to the actual match at WrestleMania. But she put over Tiffany. And after that, she started behaving and she went into tag team purgatory. So I don't even care. So
All she had to do was just wreck her Tiffany Stratton's relationship with Ludwig Kaiser.
That is also true. But she basically became a non-issue. The first couple months, oh yeah, absolutely, I would have picked her. But she petered out, and she's doing whatever with Alexa Bliss. I literally have watched the last women's tag team match I've watched was probably Charlotte and Alexa winning the tag team belts at SummerSlam. I think I could be wrong. I don't remember, and I don't care. My pick for worst women's wrestler is someone who's come back recently. And everything she's been a part of has been complete and total garbage. Except for one thing where she was carried to a semi-decent passable match, and it was not because of her ability, because she has none.
Yeah,
Go back to the Divas era where you belong, Nikki Bella. You suck.
She's gonna win this, isn't she?
She said that she's retiring some point. Like, this is her last run. Please let it be soon. Please, please, please. When you make me have to choose between women's war games or a Nikki Bella match, stop. Get some help.
Well,
you made me almost skip a Stephanie Vaquer match. How? And they're still feuding because on Raw, Nikki Bella attacked Stephanie again.
So what you're saying is that Nikki's gonna win the belt at the Rumble from Stephanie.
If that happens, I'm going to be beyond furious.
In Saudi Arabia, no less. Oh no, but wait a minute. No, then they're not having that match. They don't do women there. No, that's
no. Well, depends on. There are so many jokes I can make with that statement, and all of them would possibly get me kicked off.
No, but there's no way that they would allow Stephanie Vaquer to do that little booty batooty thing. No shot. No shot they'd have that. No way. But prove me wrong, WWE. Not that I care. I don't. But my nominee for worst female wrestler of the year is somebody that doesn't get too much airtime, but every time I see her, she is fucking terrible. And it's beyond bad. And I'll tell you, there's nothing fabulous about it at all. It's just bad. It's just bad. My nominee is B-Fab.
She's not good.
She's not good. But Nikki Bella's winning this because there's no way that B-Fab, compared to the push that Nikki gets, B-Fab is like a negligible part of the show.
She's literally only used as a jobber.
Yeah, and for good reason. But she is bad. She, like, pound for pound, she is bad. But if you're talking about the only thing that Nikki Bella does really well is sass around the ring.
Is be a bitch.
And that works for her, but no. Will Schuyler, who you got on this list that might prove me otherwise?
I'm going to say, Joshua, very cheeky of you to do runner-up and then actual nomination. That way you can get 2 picks in.
I want to yell at everyone.
Very well. In that vein, I have 2 women. Now, the runner-up is someone that I had a lot of potential in. I thought she was going to be a star in the industry, and she is, but not because of the way that she's doing it. Everyone knows I hate her character, and now that we're going really, really sexual with her, I'm really, really hating it. And because we know Tony Khan is a nerd and would never book this shit, we all know it's coming from her. It's a Tony Storm and her sexual whatever shit.
Tony Storm. Wow.
But my main nomination is still Mercedes Moné because she has 12 championships.
She's actually losing some of them.
God, you know,
Why?
I forgot about her, actually. Like, even though she won it last year, but like, I forgot that she did all that shit and all the belts and all the airtime and all that whatever that she's doing. She's dating a Minotaur. Am I right about that? There's.
Yeah. I like to pretend that she doesn't exist.
Which.
Well, she does, and she wrestles for AEW.
When I'm reminded that she exists, it makes me contemplate the meaning of my existence here on this hellhole we call Earth.
Yeah, Nikki.
Let's be clear. The fact that like we have tag team championships that she's gonna be winning, you know.
Well, you know, I must say though, you know, Skylar, you're making a hell of a case here because Nikki Bella is infuriating, but she doesn't cause like existential crises the way that the way that Mercedes Moné does just existing. And they're really not too dissimilar when you think about it. Could you imagine if they had given Nikki Bella 12 belts? Could you imagine if she went to the Indies and they gave her 12 belts? That would be Mercedes Moné.
Listen.
Meteora, by the way, she just did a Meteora while we were talking about it. Go ahead.
There is no indie promotion, I think, that would ever hire Nikki Bella. I could be wrong. But still.
She would charge too much money.
And she's from the Icky Divas era.
Oh, and Mercedes Moné just did another Meteora while you guys were talking about that.
How many are we up to today here on Christmas?
28, 29. I don't know. We passed the 25 days of Christmas. I think we're on like 32. Still kicking out, though.
Oh, yeah.
So we have a lot of people, but who are we picking?
So, well, I almost want to give this to both ladies. I almost want to give this to Nikki and Mercedes because they're equally problematic and they're getting an equal level of high angle push.
Hey, Lay Cool once broke the women's title in half.
I think we could break a Grapply. I've broken plenty Grapplies in my life, you know?
Yeah.
Pinch it off and come back to it later. So,
yeah.
So the AEW one goes to Mercedes Moné and the WWE one goes to Nikki Bella.
Yes.
I'm cool with that.
Okay.
I can roll with that.
Congratulations.
This is our award show. We can make our own rules.
That's right.
Yeah.
We've done 6 of these. We've done 6 of these. All right. Well, this is the second consecutive one for Mercedes Moné. So she does have a little more accolade on top of that. But let's go back to positivity. The power of positivity. And this
no, Triple H ruined that.
Well, speaking of, let's go to the best booker of the year.
Oh boy.
And you want to talk about a race to the bottom, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just list out the nominees for a minute. We've got Tony Khan, who has done I Want You at Your Best for as long as we've been doing this show. As that is basically the only angle that they have is I Want You at Your Best. You've got Triple H, the let's use John Cena's final year and fuck it up every way you possibly can. And then kind of stick the landing, but it's not your fault, but you're still getting blamed. And we have Vince Russo. We have Billy Corgan. This is the options. These are the options we have at this moment. And then we have TNA.
There's
okay,
one forgetting.
Can I officially pick TNA and Delirious?
I mean, they're the best case scenario of anybody here. I mean, they were my nominee because everybody else, well, my nominee was Booker T just because his name is Booker, because that's how bad the state of things has been. But then I remembered he actually books Reality of Wrestling, so I don't know whether he is actually any good or not. So I can't speak on it.
There's one name you are forgetting, and he is my nominee. Would you like me to divulge?
Yes, please go. Sure. Please divulge.
Oh, well.
But don't whip it out. Just say what you got.
Shawn Michaels. He's been doing pretty well with NXT. And pretty well is literally like so far above the bar of everyone else.
Well, I
You
can't.
know what? I'm willing to give it to you for Shawn Michaels.
I can't dispute that. And considering that Shawn really opened the doors for Delirious and their collaborative work together, I think that's worth giving. Well, amazingly, this is an underdog victory, I think, here. The boyhood dream has come true for Shawn Michaels. Here you go, Shawn.
Shawn. You better not pose with Playgirl with this title.
Here you go, Shawn.
Hey, he can pose however which way he wants to.
That's right.
I may or may not have reading material after this show.
So wait a minute. In 2025, in 2025, let me just read to you the list of winners here. So on this list, our winners are the Hardys, John Cena, and Shawn Michaels in 2025.
That is how bad shit's fucking.
This is where we are, folks.
Dear God.
Is it 2005?
This is it sure feels like it.
Later, and somehow things will work.
It sure feels like it. Well, let's move on. Let's do another good one here. Because I like kind of doing these two in a row. Let's go to the best men's wrestler of the year. We'll do a big category. Monstrous category. Skylar, it is your first nomination. Who you got for the very best?
Considering the year was all about him with WWE, how can it be anybody but John Cena?
Well, that's a good choice. And he did, ultimately he got better and better as the year went on. So it's going to be...
the matches were not great, to be honest, because he's not really the worker he once was. But again, it wasn't really about the matches. It was about the experience of John Cena.
Well, and that was ultimately John's point, I think, was this year of kind of like, this is the year to say the last time is now because I just cannot keep up, period. And to his credit, like, John, for his part, gave us that. Everything around it might have been suspect, but he gave us that. JoshAgeddon, your nomination.
He won his 17th world title this year, and he's about to win his second grappling. My pick for best male wrestler of the year is also John Cena.
Yes, he is the Fighting 19, and I will try to have a better one by the time he wins 20.
Yeah, my rationale is, even though some things that he was given were suspect.
You did it, John.
He had a great Elimination Chamber showing. His match with Randy Orton was so much fun. He had a fantastic match of the year candidate with Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam that more than made up for their WrestleMania debacle.
Indeed.
He had a fantastic match with Logan Paul, fantastic match with AJ Styles. And I don't care what anyone says, he had an awesome match with Gunther with the perfect finish. We literally had the worst finish ever this year and the best finish ever this year. I loved the finish of Gunther and Cena, and if you don't like it, then too bad. Keep crying about it. I'm sure someone will care.
Well, you know what's funny? My nominee, who is once again outnumbered, my nominee is somebody who I believe has been delivering the most consistent work. Again, and has had to actually deal with a lot of different overhaul in terms of what he's been able to do and who he's been able to do it with, namely because of injuries or with just adversity and who he's facing, or what, just having to deal with stuff on the fly and cut promos to make it work. And the work has been good on top of that. And he's now world's champion, which also makes me very happy. I'm so proud of this dude. This is the CM Punk we have deserved from the start. If only he had been mature enough to give us this CM Punk from the beginning, but that's kind of irrelevant at this point. I'm glad for Punk. I'm happy for Punk, and he deserves at least the nomination for Wrestler of the Year this year.
Honestly, he's my runner-up. He had a very good year this year.
He deserves it.
As far as actual in-ring, take nostalgia and emotion and all that other stuff out of it, or just the fact that this was John Cena's last year. If it was any other year, it would have been CM Punk would have been my pick.
Yeah, but how ironic is it that CM Punk loses to John Cena again?
I know. That's how this year started, really.
Look, think about that. Imagine telling me from 10 years ago that I'd be picking John Cena over CM Punk in a positive way.
Well, yeah. And I will also say this on top of that. I can't nominate it for men's match, but if I could, just nominating the section of the Elimination Chamber when it was down to Punk and John, that was some of my favorite stuff in the chamber entirely. That was some of my favorite wrestling all year.
Oh yeah, it was.
They did some terrific stuff then, and that was just the beginning, you know, as you know, but in any case, well, 2-time John. In 1 year, he gathered 2 of them real quick. Now, last year's winner was Ulf, the 2-time winner, who also won promo and male wrestler, and that was Drew McIntyre. So we and I don't know if we talked about Booker of the Year for last year, but it was Triple H. The fact that Triple H has lost to Shawn Michaels in the year 2025, this really is 2002, isn't it? As
he's gonna go pedigree him again.
I know, literally. But now let's switch back to bad. Speaking of, and we're gonna do this as I make a quick hat change. I'm going to leave this to JoshAgeddon to tell me who your most regressed wrestler this year is.
This is a person that we're going to be talking about a lot, especially when it comes to the Crapleys. This dude actually used to be good when he was doing what he does well, when he was where he was supposed to be. I'm not sure if this is a regression or an exposure. My pick for regression of the year is Jey Uso. The longer the year has gone on, the worse he has gotten. He knows 3 moves, and it's like we're watching him forget how to do them. Everything he does is bad. Everything he's doing is getting worse. And it's so bad that they literally had a segment where he was basically like, yeah, me and Jimmy are again, and we're going after the tag team titles. And everyone rejoiced that Jey Uso is going back into a tag team where he never should have left. He had singles matches during the Thunderdome, and they were good. My voice cracked. That's how good they were. At least in comparison.
That T that he botched, or whatever it was with him and Punk.
The neck breaker. That neck breaker that turned into a nightmare driver somehow. CM Punk gave him a curb stomp.
Yeah.
I want to do that to Jey Uso.
Had to be done. Well, Tyler, your pick.
So here's the thing. I watched this woman live in person win a championship this year.
Uh-oh.
And since then, I feel like things have gone downhill. I don't know if it's her. I don't know if it's the booking. But what started as a promising year has turned out to be just a middle-of-the-road situation where I don't know what she's going to be. I know they like her because they're giving her chances, but, man, it's tough. Lyra Valkyria.
Oh, that hurts my heart, but I don't agree.
It's a shame.
I don't even remember the last match they've had her on.
Well, therein lies the problem, because the biggest issue with Lyra Valkyria is that they had literally 0 plans for her after that Becky Lynch feud.
That she should have won.
That she lost.
Though, that like had AEW not been absolute shit, Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria would have been my nomination for worst feud.
Which also would have earned it. I mean, they had 1 good match at the end.
No, they had 2 good. I disagree.
Oh, they had one on Raw. They had one on Raw I didn't watch that I heard was also good.
No. They had a match at Backlash. They had a match at Money in the Bank. Both were really good. It's just their SummerSlam match that was a disaster.
But here's the thing, though. Their matches got worse. And that's the biggest sin for me, is that the matches started out good and then they got worse. Specifically SummerSlam. We'll get to that when we get to that, because I have a feeling it's going to be nominated for something else. But to me, I was in person live watching Lyra Valkyria win the Intercontinental Championship while I went to the bathroom, so that's how I heard the pyro go off when she had the belt in her hands.
Women's wrestling.
Oh, Skylar, the timing of that joke was fucking hilarious.
You snuck in that, Jack.
That was good. That was great. That was really good.
Was Jake Paul looking at whoever Joshua that knocked him out, like just that look of fear.
Well, Lyra Valkyria is definitely a good choice, and my choice. I choose this person because even though he was missing for part of the year, I really do feel like the cause is lost. And the reason I say this is that he's in a company that's doing him no favors. He's the only thing worth a damn in the company that's doing him no favors. And he's been in that company long enough to the point where the company is now rubbed off on him so much that I don't believe him anymore. And his matches aren't, I mean, his matches are fine, but fine by their standards is not good. You know, and he's given no one to work with, and the people that he does work with are just, he has to put over, or it takes everything in a day to beat them, and it's just, I just can't do it anymore. My nominee is MJF.
Oh, that's not where I thought you were about to say Damian Priest.
No.
I don't care enough about Damian Priest to nominate him.
But
sorry, Damian, but it's true.
MJF just does the same thing over and over and over again.
He has grown zero. And to be fair, he's been given zero. But still, I just can't with him anymore. I just can't. You can make the argument for FTR as well, but I think overall potential versus reality, Max is the person that I choose on this one.
I did not know that FTR were the AEW Tag Team Champions until last week, and apparently they've been champions for months.
That's team wrestling, everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? Honestly, I might shift over to Sean's pick because that is a very good one.
Not that either of yours were bad; they were both very good choices. Because Lyra, but Lyra's progression, I mean, she finally stopped having the wardrobe malfunctions, which is helpful.
That is true.
But
I mean, the thing is that, like, we need to see what she can and cannot do, but that whole thing of, like, her being a potential future world champion, it feels a little bit cloudier now, does it?
Well, so does Max's.
She also needs to drop the bird thing.
Yeah. It's not helping.
That's a mid card gimmick.
It's not helping.
Break through with
but yes, ironically on Christmas I will pick the Jew.
That
Skyler with the zingers tonight.
Damn, 2 in a row.
I am down.
What are the chances?
Zingers, man.
Well, and here's the thing about
self-hating Jews, right? Self-hating Jews.
Well, I can't speak on any of that, but
Skyler's like, I am one, I can do it. I am one, I can do it.
But the thing is with Lyra, she's got time to rebound. I'm worried that the clock is ticking on MJF being ruined by AEW forever. To the point where when he goes to WWE, it's not going to be the sure thing that people might have assumed it was at one point.
Hey, Sean, do you remember the bidding war of 2024? Neither do I.
Yeah, me either. Yeah. All right. Well, we've got I'm just trying to figure out where it is on the card. There it is. And so, God, I did not want to give you one of these, Max. I really didn't. By the way, Edge/Cope won that last year.
Deserved.
And equally deserved. And now let's continue in with the dregs. And we will go to the worst women's match of the year.
Okay.
I will first.
No, I'm gonna go first because I've got an order to this, Skyler. I've got an order.
Down, bad boy, bad.
But my nomination is Nikki Bella versus Becky Lynch at SummerSlam. That match fucking sucked, and it lasted.
You mean that was Clash at Paris?
Yes, I put down SummerSlam in my notes, but yes, Clash in Paris. It was bad. I didn't
watch it.
No, here's what happened. That was the show that we just all skimmed, which was the last of the Peacock era. But I remember avidly watching that match going, thank God I'm not writing any real notes down.
I've heard it was bad.
It was bad. It's the worst Becky Lynch instincts plus Nikki Bella. And that's all you need to know. Go ahead, Skyler.
Well, considering that situation, I'm still going to go with the women's match that made me quit watching it in the middle of it. And that is an automatic failure for me. It's Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch at SummerSlam in their hardcore match.
That one was pretty. You mean SummerSlam Night 2, subtitled Extreme Rules?
Bullshit. Still, that's what you should sell.
It was pretty bad.
That one was also pretty brutal. I won't lie to you.
By the way, the AEW match for the women's worst is the Blood and Guts match that they did.
I don't know why I watched it.
I didn't see it.
Why. I was mildly curious.
Look, it's the AEW women who are a lesser quality than the WWE women, which is saying something. Wrestling in a Survivor Series, war games with weapons and more profuse bleeding.
And it wasn't even that time of the month.
And a custom trash can.
And I'm sure at some point Tony Storm hit someone in the vagina or something, you know.
I don't remember. I don't remember what
Didn't
happened.
see
I'm
it.
sure
I
she
don't even
did.
remember
Didn't see
who
it.
won.
Tony?
Sure.
Tony Khan, yes. Tony Khan.
Tony, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Josh, again, your pick.
I don't know if either of you have seen this match, but this was not on a pay-per-view. This was on a SmackDown. My worst women's match was Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax in a triple threat match.
Oh, is that the one with the pin where the ref fucked up?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, that is a good choice.
Oh, and also where Nia remembered her former career of hurting people for real, the Real Hurt Business, where she launched Jade Cargill face first into the steps and gave her a gnarly looking scar on her face that she still has.
Yeah.
But that pin, that's worst. That's like worst botch of the year. That was so bad.
That was pretty rough.
Not good.
Yeah.
Because look who's in it.
Well, and that's yeah. Well,
God,
boy, all three of those matches are 5-finger. I'm more inclined to actually give it to Lyra and Becky because that match, I mean, from the hand tie that came loose that she tried to recover to all of the botches that was in that. I mean, to the crowd not giving a single fuck.
It was such a, like, I might concede that one as well because
and the Bailey interference that ruined Bailey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Made her look like a complete idiot.
And the wrong person winning that made the other person look bad by losing, and now she was like, oh, and that you can never challenge Becky for that title again. Good job, Lyra. I'm conceding with that match because I actually really liked their feud, and I thought their matches were getting better. And then
that happened.
Then that happened.
Yeah.
And then the unthinkable happened.
That's right. Calm down, Jim.
Or I guess in you two, well, what you two think, and then the thinkable happened.
Yeah.
I concede to Becky and Lyra as much as I like Becky and as much as I love Lyra. That was like. That was bad.
Now, last year, we only did match of the year. We didn't split it between the men and the women. So this is a new Grapply. Congratulations, Lyra and Becky.
It's the gif of Bart with the cake that said you tried, and then you just throw it in the trash.
That's right. Absolutely. Now, let's go back to Joy as we get to the best. You know what? Let's do the best women's match of the year because we're on the category. Skylar, okay. I'm going to let you start this one. Your favorite women of the year.
That implies that there were good women this year.
Well, you can. I mean, I did abstain from the tag team voting for that exact reason. So
I may have to abstain from this one too. I don't know. Like shit.
There's a reason I'm friends with this man.
Like. Good God, some of these matches are just.
It's hard to find some good ones.
Like, do I have to?
You don't, though. I've already set the precedent. You don't have to vote.
But if I have to, it's WrestleMania, Io Sky versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, I knew that was.
That is actually a good pick. That is a good pick.
I knew that was going to be the choice. That's probably what's going to win, unfortunately, but.
That's the only choice, really.
I had another one that I liked, but go ahead.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, you'll.
That triple threat match is my runner-up. I have a lot of runner-ups this evening. It involved 2/3 of that match. My pick for women's match of the year was Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley at Evolution. That was such a fantastic match.
That was a really good match.
Liked the finish where Naomi cashed in, and if we had a heel turn of the year, like the actual turn goes to Cena, but the heel run would have gone to Naomi if Jimmy Uso would have proceeded with caution.
Let's be clear. When we get to Women's Wrestler of the Year, it's a stacked field.
It is.
Yeah, my women's match of the year is Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley at Evolution for the women's world title.
Well, I'm going to pick a bronze medalist here because there is no shot in hell that this match is going to win.
Okay.
But I want to put it on there because it way over-delivered on expectations. And it showed potential for somebody who now has no more potential. We're going to get to that award very shortly. But my nominee is a match and that same WrestleMania 41, Naomi versus Jade Cargill.
Wow.
That match was better than it had any right to be, and they did a great job with it. And it really made me really respect Naomi at a deeper level. Like, okay, you didn't just lose all that shit that you did in TNA. You've just been waiting for the right chemistry, and then she got pregnant.
Thanks, Jim.
So we lost that momentum. But
Big Jim, not even once.
But before that happened, they had a good match. And I think they deserve the credit for having a good match on the biggest stage. And it might be Jade's best match that she'll ever have. So
that might come into play later.
Yes, they almost guaranteed will come into play later. As we will so those are our picks. So which part of I'm just gonna put Io and Rhea down. The question is, are we putting down Bianca Belair in addition?
I kind of go back and forth.
I'm inclined
either way, so I'll go with whatever one you guys pick.
I'm inclined to say the Evolution match because I'm a sucker for singles matches.
Yeah, I'm not budging from the singles match.
Sorry,
Bianca, you broke your finger for nothing.
Let's is she still out from that?
Yep.
No, she's back.
Is she?
No, she's not.
What's she doing?
Okay. I mean, she's about to be. Let's be clear.
Oh,
like, it's almost Rumble season.
Rumble time.
She'll probably be covered head to toe in the Saudi Rumble.
Got it. Just like the,
because God forbid we see a little bit of Bianca's skin, and then they literally like sharpshooter, and not like Bret Hart, like they actually pull out a gun and snipe her from the audience mid Rumble.
This is a serious question, though. Are they gonna have a women's Rumble in Saudi Arabia?
I hope
they
not.
Better.
I can't believe I'm with Saudi on this one.
I don't know. I don't know. That's a very interesting question. Do they do that on the SmackDown before?
Saudi Arabia. You have a beautiful country.
Oh, shut up.
Joshua, be careful. Be careful. You want to get deported.
You've never been to Saudi Arabia. It could be all sand for all you know.
I make fun of them because they still think Yokozuna's alive.
Well, Nikki Bella still thinks Vader's alive, so
I hate the human race. We move on.
So the winner was of last year's. Oh, we didn't do a women's match winner last year. So new award. Good job, Rhea and Io, for winning an award. We now move on to more joy as we do let's do the moment of the year. Moment/angle of the year.
I feel like this might be unanimous.
As no, because I chose one deliberately different. I think than the one. It's obvious. There's an obvious winner here.
Yeah. But
I had another one that was equally as entertaining, at least for me. But let's see, where are we at? We got number 10. So we just had Skylar go. So Josh, again, it is your turn.
If only the follow-up was better.
Yeah.
What we had, bro.
They had him.
That I want to live in the universe where The Rock was actually on TV more, and we actually got like a cool heel thing with John Cena and The Rock. Or I would even take an alternate universe where John Cena turned heel at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
because I thought that also would have been better. But no, like we got to sell some tickets because we're overpricing everything. Rock, come here, ruin everything by making everything better somehow.
and that was before they even really started pricing people out. But
all things considered, even though the run he went on was questionable, John Cena might be taking home his third grappling in one night. John Cena's heel turn and elimination chamber. The follow-up was not good, but the turn itself was the most I had people that I work with who don't know anything about wrestling who were talking about it.
Yeah, that got mega stream attention.
I had a soccer mom as a customer who I don't think can spell wrestling. If I went, you can't see me, she'd have no idea what I was talking about. She'd probably call for me to get fired. She'd probably file a complaint at Pizza Hut. She was talking about John Cena turning heel.
Wow. Big time. Skylar.
I'm going to choose to be positive on this one because I don't want to be so negative. So I'm actually going to go with the actual night that John Cena retired, him taking off his shoes and the wristbands, bowing as everybody's giving him the final goodbye.
Fair.
That's a good one.
Fair.
Good one. Although
I also could have done John Cena smiling as he's being tapped out, but that's not no.
That's my runner-up specifically because it pissed off the entire internet, and the internet's still wrong, by the way.
Well, my favorite moment was Jey Uso winning the Rumble, obviously.
Sean, I will literally pack my bags and drive my car that might explode to Connecticut to murder you.
No. That's no, my favorite moment happened at WrestleMania. And it was nobody expected this moment to turn into a moment, but boy was it a moment. My nominee for moment of the year was Stone Cold Steve Austin crashing the ATV into the barricade. And then counting attendance like he didn't just knock over 5 people, one of which took a bump trying to get a paycheck from Nick Khan.
Oh, that was so funny.
That was an unexpected gem this year. That was just the best.
It was a literal car crash right before a metaphorical car crash.
But just everything about it, from him missing the ramp initially to him not being able to back up and needing 6 people to back him up as people are waiting for something to happen. And then he finally gets on the ramp to go the right way, overspeeds it, doesn't hit the brakes, and then crash. And then, boy, this number doesn't seem accurate. Let's count again. 1, 2, 3.
Well, to be fair, Steve, you might have a concussion. You did just drive into a wall, literally.
Can you blow into this little machine here?
Oh, it was just.
If the officer tried to do that, he would give him a stunner.
I forgot that he couldn't back it up after he crashed the barricade, so he just left it there.
That was hilarious.
So listen, that is the funny moment of the year. But again, I choose to be positive. I choose to be with John Cena's actual retirement, where he's bowing as everybody is around the ring, smiling, celebrating, crying, and all that stuff. And I don't want to think about the most potential to heel turn.
I don't want to budge from the heel turn though. That was pretty shocking.
I know. If I'm gonna tie break, as much as I love Steve, I think I got to give it to the heel turn. That made world news. Not that it wasn't wonderful what they did for John, but I think that a lot of what happened with that moment was lost because the fans went ripshit on Triple H's booking. And I think that the way that the way this year felt in December was not the way that moment felt in February. It's just but they're both great moments. So, John, you're still the 3-time Grapply winner. Y'all sweeping these awards here today.
Yeah, I mean, he may get more.
He might get more.
We shall see.
We're not done yet.
The way this is going.
Yeah, well, I don't know if mathematically he's going to get 18 here, but
we'll invent new grapplies.
In any case,
best attitude adjustment.
Well, we're back to bed.
Oh God, we'll be here all day.
Yeah, God. Yeah, we got a lot of choices there. If you pick any color on the spectrum and you've got a nomination. Let's go to the worst. Now, this is a new category this year that I've added in. It is the rookie/younger wrestler spotlight for potential, or the Pack It In Award. So in this case, it's the something that had great potential that now you could just see no longer has that potential, and that it and a wrestler that you feel like it's time to find another profession or find another line of work or another company to work for. I will start with this because I have two answers here. And the first is kind of a joke, but it's not. My first nominee is the entirety of AEW as a company.
Yeah.
The potential is dead. It's dead.
Yeah.
And it's sad to say, but it's true.
So much damage has been done to AEW that it doesn't even matter if Tony Khan gives the book over to someone who's actually good at it. The name is just toxic.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever going to happen for AEW, but I will concentrate it to something a little bit more individual wrestler just for the sake of this. My nominee is Jade Cargill. Even though they're trying,
as of late. Not as of late. She's been, you know who she's been feuding with as of late? BFAB, Meechin, and the Secret Hervis.
Yeah, so my nominee for Lost Potential is Jade Cargill.
Dude, SmackDown's women's division is basically a barren womb. It's just, there's nothing there. It's not working.
Bad. Big bad. So that's my nominee for that is Jade. Your nominee, Skylar.
Lyra Valkyria by default.
I think that's
poor Lyra.
It's another good choice. JoshAgeddon.
Well, I think Jade Cargill is taking it home because she's also my nominee. Again, she had some good stuff at the beginning of the year, but ever since that match with Asuka at the King and Queen of the Ring,
which
she's just not improving. I mean, yeah, it was a bad pairing, but she's just not improving.
No, she's not.
And she should by now.
Yeah. I mean, how long has she had to get better?
And she literally has nothing to work with on SmackDown. Like Meechin, who I honestly, if Meechin is not a part of, Meechin is quickly becoming the new Dana Brooke, where every time they have new releases, I'm hoping that she's on it.
Yeah.
But she's just hit her ceiling, and her ceiling's very low. And it's just, she has a look, and that's literally it.
That's it. Well, Jade, congratulations. You have won a Crapply. Here you go.
Congratulations.
Here's your Crappulations. And let's continue with the Crappulations and move to the worst tag team of the year. And because I am once again abstaining from the vote, let's start with Skylar on this one.
I've hated this gimmick for a while now. I continue to hate it. You guys say, no, give it a chance. I'm like, no, fuck it. Wyatt 6.
Fair?
That's more a faction than a tag team.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that shortly, by the way, but
same thing, Joshua, same thing.
Well, for the context of the Crapply, it's not though, because we're gonna have a worst faction.
Fine, but if we're being specific, the tag team version of it, of Joe Gacy and the former Dexter Lumis.
Okay, fair enough.
My nomination is there are tag teams.
Exactly.
I'm just by default picking the Young Bucks because I hate them. I considered FTR because I also hate them, but I've actually seen a couple Young Bucks matches this year, and it's nothing has changed. Nothing will ever change.
But JoshAgeddon, they're broke and they have to wrestle $1 million matches every week.
I wish that was real life and not a gimmick.
That is such a stupid gimmick, by the way. You lost your title a year ago, and you have to continuously wrestle in matches for $1 million because you have to keep that much of a lifestyle. How out of touch can you possibly be?
I'm picking Young Bucks purely out of a lack of options because tag team wrestling is like it's not even like the zombie of it died.
But guys, that's the thing, though, is that killing the business, and they did kill the business, and they continue to kill the business. So, I'm always going to join on the Young Bucks train.
Do y'all recognize that this is, I think, their 5th consecutive worst tag team Grapply? Like, nobody has a streak like this going. Nobody has won a streak this many years in a row. That takes a special set of skills.
When you are the worst by default, just because everyone here hates you.
But I would have also given FTR the nod too, because they had like from the most potential to like what has this team become? As they're
but Sean, again, here's the thing: is that FTR started from a high place, so naturally when they go low, their low spot isn't as bad.
True.
I would advise caution criticizing them because if you do, Dax will start crying on Twitter, and Cash will pull out a gun and try to shoot you. So we're just going to move on.
Yeah, I think that's probably what's best. And let's move on and let's go to the best faction of the year. Is there one? Is a great question.
I have a controversial one.
Well, I'm going to let you begin then. Go controverse away while I change hats.
Well, purely because every other faction kind of sucks. This one is actually still kind of going somewhere, and it was a part of a great story. It was part of. I feel like Skylar will vehemently disagree, but that's just because he can't see the vision, which is my pick for faction of the year. And I'm not saying they're great. I'm not saying they're amazing. I'm not saying that they're, as Seth Rollins would have you believe, revolutionary. But they're fine. And that's the bar. They reached the bar of being acceptable.
Skylar.
They are literally a letter grade of C in an ocean of F's.
I can't believe I'm nominating this group, but I'm going to nominate this group because at least they've changed it up and at least they do things a bit differently from when they first started. At least parts of this group is entertaining. Give me the Judgment Day.
Oh my God.
I
mean, you're not wrong, but if I didn't just want this faction to end already.
Hey, listen, I'm with you there. I am totally with you there. But you know something, JoshAgeddon?
Skylar's not wrong.
First of all, Dominic is going to be a world champion someday. I now fully believe that. As a chicken shit little shit, but he's going to be world champion someday. He's that good. But the fact, it's not even just...
He should win the Money in the Bank.
It's not even just what they're doing here. It's not even just what they're doing in WWE. It's the fact that they've taken WWE buying AAA and become major there. To where Dominic feels important in all phases, in multiple areas, and that really means something.
I just hope that his recent shoulder injury isn't too bad.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah. Get well soon, Dominic.
And because Dominic is so good. God, he's so good. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna give this to the Judgment Day, I think. Because Roxanne is pretty good. Raquel Rodriguez is
I'm gonna say something really controversial.
The
Judgment Day is currently being carried by Dominic Mysterio and the women.
Well, Raquel Rodriguez had a match that did not suck, which is progress.
And it had weapons in it.
And Roxanne is Roxanne, and she's gonna be a star. I fully they see it. It's clear they see it. I mean, fuck. She gave John Cena a code red. Or a Pop Rocks, or whatever the fuck you call it. She gave John Cena a code red, which I thought was ridiculous, but still. And Finn Balor is... So I'm giving it to the Judgment Day.
And also Liv Morgan. Let's be honest, Liv Morgan.
Well, now that Liv is back, that's going to add even more intrigue. So it's God.
There's only one problem. There's only one problem. WWE.
No more Carlito.
No, not that. Either break up the group or don't. Stop with this. They're fighting today. Next week, oh, they're perfectly fine. The next week, there's friction. Are they going to break up? Oh, Dominic Mysterio literally pinned Finn Balor at WrestleMania, and he was just like, "Oh, you did what you had to do."
Oh, good job, lad. And my career's fucking over, isn't it? And that's the vibes I've been getting from Finn Balor this year. This poor fucking dude.
That just goes to Triple H's recent bad booking.
Yeah.
Like refusing to just dragging things out for so long that you literally wish you would just kill it already.
Yeah. It's a shame. It's a shame. So Judgment Day. Congratulations, Judgment Day.
That might be the upset of the night.
It very well could be. It very well could be. Now, last year the faction was blah blah blah. Where is it? Oh, I guess I just had tag team. I guess I didn't have full-blown faction. So I guess we didn't make that distinction last year as the way we did this year. Well, good. More categories.
You didn't care then.
Well, but you know what? More content means more likes, shares, and subscriptions. Anyway, you didn't see that wink, but I winked.
To save Dan Angler from being involved in an angle.
Oh,
today.
God. Yes, literally. Say Danny Angles. Well, let's move on to the show of the year.
Okay.
As I believe we had Josh again. You went first last time, right? So I guess it's now back to me, which means my nomination is really hard to choose because there was not many terrific shows this year. Almost by default, I'm going to choose WrestleMania 41 Night 1 because it was a good time. And I really did enjoy it, and they set the stage right, I thought, for all of the tempo was good, and the pacing was, and most of the matches, even the ones that weren't the top matches, still ended up being, all right. And I had high hopes for day 2 at the end of day 1, even though we saw what was going to happen at the end of day 1 coming. I had high hopes for day 2, and then that.
Travis Scott.
But the rest of the show was really good, and of day 1. So that is my choice. Let's move on to JoshAgeddon this time.
For one, I want to give I have 2 runners up. I really enjoyed Wrestle Kingdom this year. I thought Wrestle Kingdom was fun this year. And I'm actually looking forward to it in a couple weeks, because that's when Takahashi's retiring. So I'm looking forward to see what they're going to do with that. But I also really, really, as much as I am a misogynistic twat on this show, allegedly.
Your words.
Evolution was a very good show. It was one of the better shows of the year. Evolution was a very good show, even though it had women in it.
I'm told it was only women.
And somehow it wasn't awful. Black magic, I guess. But my show of the year, even though kind of with the angle or moment of the year, what it led to wasn't great, but in the moment it was. I'm going with the Elimination Chamber this year. I'm going with the Elimination Chamber show this year. I thought it was very, very good.
It was a good show. I enjoyed it.
It had a solid angle to kick off the Women's Elimination Chamber, and the Women's Elimination Chamber was actually pretty good. Shocking. The tag team match was whatever. I know that Sean wanted to murder everyone during the Kevin Owens Sami Zayn unsanctioned match. I thought it was good, although if you're going to hit someone in the face with a barbed wire chair or slam someone face first on a barbed wire chair and they sell it, you bleed. Come on. I get that you don't want to double juice in different segments, but still.
It was gratuitous. It was just gratuitous. That's the only thing. Every time that those two have a match together, they go way overboard, unnecessarily overboard. It's not that I dislike either of those guys. I love both of them. But sometimes when they're together, they bring out their worst instincts. Mm-hmm. It's not always, no, it is always that they do that literally all the time. They're around each other. But go ahead.
And the men's Elimination Chamber was fantastic. Cody Rhodes telling The Rock to
go fuck
himself
yourself.
was,
That's a great soundbite to this day.
Yes, that I abuse on my podcast
quite frequently.
Yes, because it's hilarious. And the John Cena heel turn. So overall, my nod's going to the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view this year. I thought it was the best show of the year.
Skylar?
I'm going to be controversial. I'm not going to say a pay-per-view.
Ooh.
Is it Saturday night's main event when John Cena retired?
I'm going to get technical with this.
Okay, go on.
And I'm going to say Saturday night's main event number 42.
Is that the one where John Cena retired?
Yes. I told you I'm going to be a fanboy tonight. And I'm just going to say, even if we ignore the John Cena stuff, Obafemi and Cody Rhodes had a good showcase match.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed Sol Rocca versus Bailey, and AJ Styles and Dragon Lee had a fun match with Javon Evans and Leon Slater.
True.
And the Cena Gunther match, if you throw that back in, was incredible.
Yeah.
Honestly, you know what? I'm gonna side with Skylar on this one because that was a fantastic show.
Wow.
Honestly, a lot of the Saturday, basically all of the Saturday night's main events that they've done as of late, since they brought it back, have been either okay, or just destroyed.
Just nothing happening.
Practically unwatchable.
Yeah.
This Saturday night's main event was not only the best Saturday night's main event they've done since they brought it back. It was literally one of the best shows of the year. Cody and Ova was great despite the finish. But yeah, I totally this is one of those instances where you can totally understand why they went with a DQ. I had a good women's match, shocker. Sol Ruca has so much potential. She has ridiculous potential, and she's hot. The tag team match was really good. Bro, Leon Slater, even though he's very young, he had an incredible moment during the match where AJ Styles tried to go for the forearm, but he botched and he slipped. And Slater, without missing a beat, immediately went for the cover to try to make it seem like it was part of the match. He has some good instincts. And they were mentioning that he was the X Division champion. He came out with the X Division title. They brought up how AJ Styles was the first X Division champion. So I loved all that. And again, John Cena and Gunther, including the finish, internet, was spectacular. So I'm giving the nod to that episode of Saturday night's main event.
All right, and that will be our show of the year.
Also, that's another reason why is because I'm giving John Cena number 4.
I don't think John actually gets that one though. I mean, I know the whole show was wrapped around John Cena, but I don't know if we can give him specifically the belt there.
Skylar, can we overrule Sean?
He will be involved in it. He's been involved in it. He will get a.
It's kind of like how when you win at the Oscars and you win Best Picture, but you were the main actor in it.
Exactly.
Sure.
Exactly. That's a good way to put it.
Number 4. Screw you.
So that's so he's got 3 and an asterisk. And I've knocked over my action figure
he has
cigar.
4. It's just he's the leader of an ensemble cast.
Right, which don't count. So he's got 3. So now let's move on.
Let's move
on. Exactly.
Okay,
I went to school for this, sir. That's right.
This is gonna be our new. No, that match should have gone forth.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah! All right, well,
meme, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, let's move back to a crap lease. Let's move on to the worst promo of the year. Who is the worst on the microphone? And Skylar, you have the honor of starting this one.
Now, are you ready for the fun one? Because this is going to be a little bit controversial.
Is it also John Cena?
You think you would be that, right?
I'd think I know you, Skylar.
And I did think about it for a little bit. But no, I actually think this person's promos have not been good because of the fact of what the follow-through was and what it wasn't. It's got to be R-Truth.
Ooh.
Oh, you make a fantastic
good
point. You want to
point.
Talk about dropping the ball.
That's a great choice.
That is a good choice.
Because it was one good promo where he got to talk about how he's now Ron Killings, and it went nowhere. And he went back to being the comedy goofy man.
It's the Triple A special of, and it went. That might take it, but I want to yell and scream and wail and gnash my teeth and rend my garments and pour ashes on my head. This was also a dropping of the ball, but it's completely her fault. I was so excited about her coming back, and then she ruined it as soon as she opened her dumb mouth.
Oh, yeah,
I know.
AJ
Lee. I'm going with AJ Lee. Her promo on Raw was so bad. The therapy chants were funny, but the second that she accused Seth Rollins of mansplaining, I never wanted to see her ever again. I don't need humor, left or right, whatever leaning talking points that remind me of the crappy world that I live in on my wrestling show. Get that shit off my TV. Instant mega go away heat. You're part of why I skipped the women's War Games match. You're probably, if it's legal in Saudi Arabia, you'll be part of why I'm skipping the women's Royal Rumble. AJ Lee's promos made me so. They weren't even like the way she delivered them was fine. She's a good orator. It's just her that sucks.
Well, allow me to add a third name into this mix.
Okay.
And the third name into this mix is Jon Moxley. Because you have consistently spoken gibberish for well over a year and change about whatever this was. It has actively killed the company you are in. It is AJ Lee, as mad as cringy as she is, she ain't tanking the bottom line.
He's not. I'll give you that.
And as bad as some of these other people have been, Jon Moxley had the chance for over a year to explain once coherently what the aim and the end goal of any of what he was doing was. And we still don't know. And
he consistently failed.
And he consistently failed to the point where it might be the actual iceberg that kills Tony Khan's AEW when the documentary comes out, if another Warner merger doesn't. It's shocking the comparisons to, Tony Khan has sped run the WCW experience top to bottom. And it might end the same way with a Warner merger.
But given the way things are going, I will go ahead and flip. Yes, the R-Truth stuff was disappointing, but it wasn't actively hurting things like the way Jon Moxley was going out there every single Dynamite and talking about his vision of what AEW should be.
Which
that shit was like, dude, your vision is incoherent.
Yeah, which none of us could explain. At least with R-Truth, he's doing silly stuff, but you're like, okay, I'm used to this. Yes, he's a moron, but he's their moron. That's like the way that they do this. But
I will defer to Sean as well, because as much as I wanted to throw something at AJ Lee's dumb hollow skull, it's not like actively chasing away viewers. Jon Moxley is TV poison.
Yeah. He really is.
And on the mic.
Yeah.
And also, I make this point too with AJ Lee is that, like, at least she seems like a nice person. Jon Moxley's an asshole.
Yeah.
He's
dumb. He's a dumb fucking asshole.
And his wife is also dumb because she married him and remains married to him.
Yeah.
The way things are going, tonight's about the two Johns.
Oh, yeah, honestly.
Well, the promo of the year that lost last year was Mercedes Moné, which
she's also bad.
Who was also bad.
She's also bad, but Jon Moxley has been worse.
I mean, you could almost argue that they've gotten equal airtime and they're both equally responsible. But Moxley, I think, for the responsibility he had as champion, as the main champion, yeah.
At least Mercedes, you can understand what she's saying, even though you want to pelt her with tomatoes.
Yes, I want to stab sharp
Moxley,
pens into my
idea
ears.
What he's saying.
Yeah, it's just gibberish. It's just gibberish.
It's like listening to a stroke victim.
It's like if the Ultimate Warrior had a stroke. Is exactly what it is. My God. Well, in any case, we've got another Grapply to give out. Okay. This one is the worst. Now we're getting into the good ones. We're going to do the worst show of the year. The worst show of the year last year was TNA Sacrifice, the show that had 500 views that nobody could see. This year,
man.
and I believe I had Skylar start that one. So Josh, again, it's your turn now. Your nominee for the worst show of the year.
We've had some bad shows this year. I want to give a special shout out to WrestleMania this year, especially in comparison to last year. I know that was like half of it was your pick, was part of your pick, Sean.
Well, you can differentiate the days.
2, I'm more mad at 2 because 2 I thought was on its way to being better than 1.
It was.
Then Travis Scott shit all over everything.
Yeah.
AEW Dynasty was also pretty bad. It was just a bad show. And then it had Jon Moxley winning again because the Young Bucks aligned with the Death Riders, even though the Young Bucks left AEW because of the Death Riders. And my brain hurts. Al, make it stop. Please, for the love of God, make it stop. But there was one show this year that made me so angry, that genuinely pissed me off to the point where I was like, I was like, do I even want to watch anymore for the rest of the year? Little did I know that show was just a precursor to how wonderful, all the wonderful things 2025 had in store for us. The Royal Rumble in 2025, not only was it a huge disappointment, not only did it have the 2 possible worst winners literally in 30 people, in 60 people, you picked the 2 worst ones. I thought Charlotte winning was bad, which she was. Jay winning literally screwed up the entire year. This show literally set 2025 on a dark course that they're still trying to dig themselves out of. This show deflated. Like it was the beginning of, like it was a massive balloon that had been blown in 2024 of all of our goodwill. And Triple H actually knows what the hell he's doing, even though we have some concerns here and there. And the Royal Rumble let a little of the air out of the balloon, and it just didn't stop deflating. The Royal Rumble, it wasn't the worst show ever. Cody versus Kevin in the ladder match was awesome.
Amazing.
And that match was very good. But it also signified the decline. So my pick for worst show of the year is the Royal Rumble.
Well, I think that's a great choice. And had Cody and Kevin not been on it, I would have chosen it. My nominee for this is the opposite end of the spectrum. It's the other side of the year. Now, my runner-up for this was purely out of personal bias. My runner-up was Money in the Bank 2025, not because the show was bad. It wasn't. But
you're just sick and tired of Money in the Bank being a thing.
I'm more upset about how right I was about LA Knight.
Yeah.
I'm more upset that I completely called that was the death knell for a wrestler I really, really, really enjoyed. And that was really when I started turning. You know, that's where my faith started to get lost. What was that Money in the Bank? And as a result, I wanted to choose that, but ultimately I think it's more an indictment when I had to go into a show trying to laugh at it rather than enjoy it, because there was no way that I would have been able to enjoy it had I watched it trying to enjoy it. My pick is Survivor Series War Games 2025 in San Diego.
That's a good choice too. I literally wanted to skip half the show.
Yeah. And I didn't, and some of it I kind of wished I did. Skylar?
So can I nominate all the AEW shows?
That's cheating.
Yeah, you got to be specific.
But I want to.
But honestly, if you wanted to nominate all the WWE shows, that wouldn't be that far-fetched of a pick either, because this has been such a letdown of a year.
God, this year has been fucking dreadful. This is so sad. This is genuinely so sad.
Honestly, yeah.
But here's the thing, though, is that like picking an AEW show is really hard because they're all terrible.
It makes it feel like 2024 was like our teachers letting us out for fucking recess, and then we had to come back in for social studies and sit back down and go back to class.
No, it's worse than that. 2024 was summer break, And 2025 was, now you go to the next grade, which is like what you just had, but more difficult.
I hope you did your summer reading. Anyway.
And then you're like, what?
My what?
Like,
yeah.
Wow, you've been in 5th grade for 10 seconds. Here's your first F.
God.
Okay, but considering that and considering everything, I do think, considering all the stuff and giving everything, Revolution, specifically for the Moxley versus Cope match. But, I mean, the rest of that show was also not good because you had Paige beating MJF flat. You had Mercedes Moné beating random Japanese woman. You had Swift Strickland versus Ricochet. Okada versus Brody King.
Oh, I forgot.
Tony Storm versus Mariah May.
God, that whole deal. Wait, was that the match?
I think that was the Falls Count Anywhere match where they were both bloody.
That was what I was about to ask, yeah.
And we were both stabbing each other in the pussy.
Yeah, that's one way to use the English language. That's certainly true.
None of these things we've said on this program is a lie.
That's true. Man.
The one good match maybe is Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher, but even then,
that was pretty
good.
It
was a steel cage match.
They went overboard. I mean, look at the company, but it was still good.
But that's the sad thing is that
versus Christian.
The sad thing about all of that is that even WWE's worst is not even in the pantheon of bad in comparison to some of the AEW Drek.
Dude, if AEW put on this year's Royal Rumble, it would have been their best show.
It would have been their best show by a mile.
The reason why I'm picking the Royal Rumble is because it was just so disheartening, especially in retrospect. Like that, the longer 2025 lingers, the worse the Rumble gets.
But at least it had the ladder match.
Yes.
At least it had there was, if you went back to watch it, there was at least something you could glean from it.
And like you said, even though like it deserved better, the tag team match was still good.
Was still yes, I enjoyed that very much so. And say what you want about Survivor Series. It was more just, I think the reason that show tested so poorly is it wasn't even the fault of, the flat ass finish with Austin Theory's stomper, which was not good, but it was also just all of us feeling beaten down in Skylar's case because of a month-long bout with pneumonia, but it was beaten down by just the way that the year had gone. It wasn't necessarily that the matches were god fucking awful. They were just
Triple H came down with a year-long case of booking pneumonia.
Yeah. But Tony Khan has been actively eating pneumonia cakes for the past year and a half. It's hard not to
hear that's the name of one of his energy drinks.
Is it sponsored by Ric Flair?
Market that, isn't he?
Oh, Skylar, we had the same joke. That's fantastic. Oh,
okay. So, given that,
I love Rick catching strays. I love that Rick just catching strays out of nowhere. Go ahead.
Hey, Ric Flair actually had a good moment this year when he said the reason why Sting didn't lose anybody is because no one in AEW is worth putting over. That was a quote from Ric Flair that I actually agreed with.
Which he then subsequently undid by saying that Hogan died of street drugs.
Yeah.
And now he's doing incomprehensibly drunk cameos that people are posting on YouTube. As God.
Okay. Again, given all that, who are we picking?
I'm going to side with Sky here. WWE's worst is still leagues better than AEW's best. And that Revolution match where we thought we were at a merciful end of the Death Riders, and it was just, nope, gotta cope. But not even Cope's going to cope because he needs Christian to do it.
Yeah.
So, congrats. And
fun fact, even though Jon Moxley hasn't been the AEW champion in a while, the Death Riders are still a thing.
Yeah, they are.
And unfortunately, AEW is also still a thing.
Well, Paramount might have something to say about that come hell or high water.
Paramount, please, I would love to Paramount AEW's logo on my wall of things that are now dead. Please kill it.
Well, we're down to the final 8. And we'll continue with the Craplies here. It is time to hit another big one. Well, this is kind of big. Worst faction of the year. There are a number of choices. I believe it is my nomination to start.
Okay.
As I did, or did I just do that last one? Did I start that one with the no, it is my turn to start. And my choice for the worst faction of the year is a faction that has lasted a long time. It's got a shit ton of members, and there's never anything that they actually do.
I know exactly who you're going to pick.
They fight with each other sometimes. The manager cuts the same fucking promo, which is I want you on my team, and then you're going to fight somebody on my team. And it's not interesting. He's got the same promo for 6 years, and he's not even getting 69 in the middle of the ring anymore. So he's not even getting actually blown out of the deal. My choice is the Callis family.
That's a good choice.
Skylar.
The Wyatts. Do I need to say more?
Not really.
Yeah, I've thrown in the towel with the Wyatts. Like earlier this year, where they just had them gone for no reason forever, and then they came back and they're like, "Oh, we're a thing," and now they're holding the tag team titles hostage. It's impossible to care.
Another Triple H fuck up, because their initial tapes where Eric Rowan was talking about, you know, what the pressure that he had after Bray died and like the backstories of all the people, like I was in on that, and then they spooky killed Chad Gable, and then nothing.
That happened, and that went nowhere. Thanks, Triple H.
And so,
thanks, Paul.
So that was you know, I don't even dislike any of the except Nikki Cross. I really don't think she's that good, but I don't really hate anybody else on that group. But it's just DOA. The time has come and gone for that. I mean, it's nothing without Bray. I'm sorry, it's nothing without Bray. Anyway, your nominee, JoshAgeddon.
Real quick, you mentioned the Dom Callis family. This is my funny moment of the year. Your funny moment was Austin crashing his ATV into the wall, which was funny.
Yes.
My funny moment of the year involves the Dom Callis family. It also involves this dipshit named Andrade. This man was in WWE, left WWE, did not read his contract, and appeared on AEW television one time to join the Don Callis family. And
yeah,
WWE
that's pretty good.
Like,
that's a good
our
moment.
lawyers would like to have a word with you, kind sir. And
moment.
now he's in a non-compete for a year.
That's right.
He literally had a cameo on Dynamite and disappeared into the ether.
That's pretty good.
That was hilarious. That's my funny moment of the year. But my faction that sucks ass of the year, it's the Death Riders. It's awful. It is so awful. It's like the one that they're trying to elevate in that group is Wheeler Yuta. Holy, oh my God. And the longer his emo hair and emo beard get, the worse he looks and the more I hate him. And not as in, he's a heel. I hope he gets beaten up one day by the babyface. No, as in, where's the remote? Good God, where is my remote? I need to turn to literally anything else on television. And Claudio Castagnoli Cesaro was better. Pac is... Adrian Neville was better.
When he's around.
Yeah, when he's not injured most of the year, which is part of his contract, I'm sure. You want to work here, you have to be injured at some point during the year. And John Moxley, we've talked about and will continue to talk about. He's probably going to win. He's probably going to win a lot of crap leagues in 2026. But yeah, the Death Riders is like the worst shit ever. It is actively harming AEW programming, and the worst part is John Mox. The whole point of it was the whole stupid thing with the briefcase. So everyone's gonna be like, "Oh my God, Hangman Adam Page freed the title from the briefcase. Let's all celebrate." The end of the Death Riders, except the Death Riders are still there.
Yeah,
and they're still wrestling.
Now
they're doing something. I don't know if I'd call it wrestling or not.
Now, it's worth noting at this juncture that John Moxley, without crediting him for Revolution 2025, already has 4 Crapleys. This would make him a 5 Grapply winner if he is given this Death Rider faction, which would be a record.
I think we have to give it to him. And yes, Sean, if we're including John Cena with the best show, we're including Moxley with the worst show.
Yeah, which I said doesn't count. I said if we're not counting one, we're not counting the other. So I'm
okay, film major.
That's right, exactly. You say that like it's an insult. I'm not insulted. I'm wearing a Jamaican hat with a fake beard right now. You think I give a fuck?
You have a film major and an English major. Skylar, what do you major in?
Criminal justice, which means this is a rich
oh fuck, that means he's the one who can rule on it.
Oh, the turns have tabled once again.
Foisted by my own petard.
But yes, if I'm gonna judge this, I think we do have to give it to the Death Riders because they're still around causing damage.
Yeah, you're right.
Faction that's actually of all the there are a lot of factions that suck that should just go away. There's only one that's actively harming the program.
Yeah. Because they ride death, the death of their company, as
and death, like the specter that is death, is literally like, please stop, it hurts, please stop. I know I retracted my consent long ago.
Well, and speaking of consent, it's time for more joy.
What a transition! Holy God!
As that's the only way to get joy is through consent. Anyway. let's move on to the feud of the year.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
That's right. That's right. Good morals on this program. As we head to the feud of the year.
Okay.
As
the good one or the bad one?
The good one. The good feud of the year. And I believe that this one, it is your turn, Sky, to begin your nomination.
I mean, let's see here. What feud has been good this year?
I've got one idea. It doesn't have to do.
I'm being serious. Again, the good has been very difficult.
Even my pick has a few moments where I'm like,
But if I'm going to be honest, I have to go with the one that has been the most consistently had decent moments. It has been built up over years and years and years. It's CM Punk versus Seth Rollins.
That's a good choice.
As much as it was abrupt, it was the best stuff, kinda.
If only we got him, literally the only reason why we haven't gotten a satisfying conclusion of that is because Seth Rollins was like, what's something I've never done before? Oh, a coast-to-coast headbutt. What do you mean I broke my shoulder?
It's like, what part of my body have I not taken significant time off of my career for at the hottest moment of it? Shoulder. Let's do that.
What on earth was he thinking?
Remember, he tore his ACL as champion against Kane or whatever it was.
Yeah.
That one you could blame him being young, but yeah.
Seth is kind of known for this. Sorry, it's true. JoshAgeddon.
My name's Seth Rollins, and if you give me a world title, I will hurt myself.
My body is a machine that turns world titles into injuries.
My body is a machine. They probably use it for the Court-Martail podcast and the TAP. What do you mean it's malfunctioning again?
Oh, God.
So I'm agreeing with Skylar, kind of because of a lack of options, because there have been a lot of feuds haven't been great. There have been a lot of feuds that have just been kind of just there, and a lot of feuds have been the Triple H special of, I'm just going to drag this out until no one cares anymore, and then it's just going to vanish from TV. Looking at you, The Miz and Carmelo Hayes.
Joshua, you should have said Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre.
That's
still go make a movie.
That's still an ongoing thing that I love Cody, and I this is Triple H's booking. I love Cody. I love Drew. And they've managed to create a feud with those two where I don't really care all that much.
Me either. That is tragic.
Thanks,
that is tragic.
CM Punk called the wrong person a bald fraud. Actually, there can be more than one.
Yeah.
But yeah, just by default, just because it had a lot of good stuff, it's just it went on for a while, and I don't need to see CM Punk and Seth Rollins kick out of 18 finishing moves every time they have a match against each other. Like that, they had a good match on the premiere of Netflix. but it didn't need all of the finisher kickouts. They had an outstanding cage match, but it didn't need all 10 trillion finisher kickouts. But I'm going with CM Punk and Seth Rollins as well.
Well, I would like to make the case, because I'm not going to give this one up until we talk this out.
Okay.
I believe that there was a feud that had a better start. It had a tremendous start. There was a great case to be made. And ultimately, due to the facilitator of the utilization of the babyface involved, ended up with a conclusion that was kind of warped into making it feel like that was the feud all along, despite the people that were wrestled against along the way. My nomination to make him a 5-time champion.
Oh my God, I know what you're going to say.
Is John Cena versus the fans. Because that's really what it was about. Because it wasn't about Randy Orton going, you need to have kids. It wasn't CM.
He actually said that. I'm not gonna lie.
Don't you child shame me? It had nothing to do with that shit. The entire core of John Cena's heel turn, as he had to spin it, was I am breaking up with not a wrestler. I'm not causing havoc with the wrestler. I am breaking up with the fans. And that chubby ass little what's his name that was the cover of our group chat for too long.
That was such a funny image.
So
I still have it on my phone because it still makes me laugh.
I would argue that if there was anything that was worth sinking the teeth into this year, I would say that was probably it.
But are we really picking another John Cena feud?
I'm not picking that one, and here's why. If this were a decade ago, a decade and a half ago, then yes, absolutely. But the problem is the fans, the part of why the heel run didn't really work is because the fans didn't really want to boo John. They didn't really go. John was great, but the fans didn't really want to go along with it.
Well, they would have if someone had been there.
This is also true. And that's another reason why it's like, what could have been? Like, dude, we were robbed. We were straight up robbed.
Well, and that's kind of why I feel like in some ways, I that's why I'm less savory on Punk and Rollins, because I don't think we ever really got a conclusion to it. And I think that there's going to have to be one at some point. But at the same time, I also think it's going to get to a point where Punk and Rollins are going to end up being baby faces at the same time. So they're going to probably end up needing to tag together too. I don't want to tag with you, but it's under the extreme circumstances.
Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed.
Well, unfortunately, because they're going to hotshot the shit out of it, that's exactly what they're going to do. I'm talking way down the road, but, I'm expecting by that point, Braun Breaker will be world champion, but that's something else altogether. But I mean, I have been overruled here in the era of Punk and Rollins because their stuff has been good. And, it's going to be one of those, like, it will never be over, baby, kind of things between those two, which is fine by me because they have great chemistry and their matches are good too.
Mm-hmm.
So now let's move on. We'll continue with the joy and let's move on to the most improved.
Okay.
And this is the most improved, and we will start with JoshAgeddon.
This might be one of my world famous controversial opinions. I'm not going to say what the Zoomers say because Zoomers suck, and I should know because I am one, much to my eternal shame. This person used to be absolutely unapologetically unwatchable. She was so bad to the point where fans let her know what they thought of her, to the point where the other people on the roster had to play White Knight on Twitter, which was also kind of pathetic and hilarious. But I'm not saying she's great now. I'm saying she went from an F- to a solid C-. That is a heck of an improvement. She's had multiple good matches with Becky Lynch. Sure, Becky carried her, but hey, it takes two to tango. And she's got some serious babyface potential. She has a really good connection with the audience. She's good at making people like her. My pick for most improved, I can't believe I'm saying this, is Maxine Dupree.
Oh my Lord.
I knew you were going to do that. I knew that's what you were going to say.
By the way, if you want to see some good-ass vignettes, there's a vignette of Natalia training Maxine Dupree. It is absolutely...
Joshua, the words that are coming out of your mouth.
Dude, go watch this vignette. It's really good of Natalia training Maxine.
Dude. The words that are coming out of your mouth. Natalia and Maxine Dupree training video 2025.
Unreal.
Yeah, it exists, and it's actually pretty damn good.
That's crazy. That is crazy, man.
These words, is it possible to use them together in a sentence like that?
Yes.
Okay, well, who gets to nominate next?
Well, that would be you, Skylar.
The lazy answer would be Dominic Mysterio, but at this point, I don't think it's fair to do that because he's been improving every single year. And I think this is more important to spotlight someone who has gotten better from being the absolute shitter to being a legitimately good wrestler. I will also be nominating Maxine Dupree.
Wow! There we go.
God, I feel like this whole stream, I haven't really needed to be here. Like, y'all have just, like, I've got, like, a whole mess of stuff I'm trying to say, but holy shit. All right, well, my nominee was Bronson Reed, but I will just say fuck me, I guess, and we will move on. As
that's also good. That's also a good pick because he has been getting better.
I mean, he's been putting a lot more.
Reed was already good. He just needed
the opportunity.
Yeah,
I don't know if I agree with that.
I kind of agree with Skylar. I've thought he's always been like somewhere in between okay and good. I think he's always been fair.
Well,
I think he's becoming good.
I think he's become much better. I feel like as far as in ring is concerned, you know, he's been okay. I think that one of the success stories of Triple H has been Bronson Reed.
Mm-hmm.
When he was up here, but it took a while. You know, he smattered around in the mid card for a while and wasn't really doing anything of consequence. And I was never really thrilled by him, you know, especially because there were bigger people and more, but he just got lost in the shuffle for a while. And this year with Paul Heyman, when everybody expected that the focus would be on Seth and Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed has been having good matches consistently with some good little bantering in the process. I feel like I've got to know Bronson Reed's personality a little bit more this year than I ever have in his career.
They rarely ever let him speak, but when he does speak, he's actually not bad.
No, yeah, exactly. But I think Heyman's presentation with him has helped a lot. And so I really do like what they've got going on here with Bronson Reed, and I'm proud of him. But I have also not seen any of Maxine Dupree's really good matches that she's gotten better in. So
say really good, I would say
better. Good.
Passable. Yeah. For her is astonishing considering how bad she was.
True. As I would also give a little small nod to Chelsea Green here as well. But kind of in the same vein, she's been good. It's just that this year she had a good year this year. I thought that Chelsea Green did. But now let's keep going joyously, I believe. No, let's go to bad. Let's go to evil. Make a SpongeBob, will you? Evil. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
Let's go. Oh boy, we're in the cream of the crap now. Let's do the worst moment / angle of the year. Joshua, I think I'm going to take this one from you, if I'm being honest. My nomination is the finish of night 2 of WrestleMania 41. Travis Scott, period. Full stop. Travis Scott. From the take fucking forever to get down there to the I've already popped Cody's eardrum the night before, to the pay-per-view before, to the fake belt that you didn't even use, to the terrible entrance music.
The terrible theme of the show.
It was the worst. It was the worst. And then that really, you want to talk about hitting the iceberg. If Jey Uso and Charlotte was the water getting cold, John Cena and The Rock was like, oh, wait, no, we're back on course. And then WrestleMania Night 2 was the iceberg. And the ship slowly started sinking from there.
Dude, Jay and Charlotte was, we need to, where are we? Okay, this is not good. And Elimination Chamber was, okay, we have our bearings. We're navigating. We have a course. And WrestleMania 42, the finish was, oh my God, that hurt. So many of us are dead now. I'm seconding that motion, Sean. It is still mind-boggling to me. This was the last WrestleMania of John Cena's career. The man that they consistently refer to as the greatest of all time.
Constantly.
That's the WrestleMania send-off they gave the greatest of all time. And that is how they decided to break their world title record. That is how he won number 17.
I wasn't even putting that into perspective.
Just happens to be my favorite number.
Yes. Get punished.
Oh, and also, let's not forget someone who apparently forgot that he was a part of this, The Rock.
He's got an Oscar to win, though.
He literally had to go on Pat McAfee's podcast for Damage Control, which he sucked at, by the way.
Yeah, because he then threw Triple H under the bus, and now I'm not so sure he was lying either. I think they were
Triple H, like what we saw on TV. Triple H signed off on.
I think they were both responsible for what has happened here in this company.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Equal parts blame, I think, has to be brought all around.
Triple H, this is a horrible thing to say, and I'm partially joking. Triple H, you have a heart monitor. Can you get a brain one too? What happened?
Oh, I don't know. Remember? Go ahead, Scott. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Can I do some? I got a list here.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Well, I'm sorry, Josh. Again, was your nomination also that same night? Did I skip past that?
No,
yes, it was.
Okay.
And
go ahead, Sky. Let's hear the list.
Right, and because I'm not gonna win because you guys have already picked the winner, I'm just gonna throw out a couple of things. Okay.
Welcome to our world, bruh.
My core, ears, and heart.
Christian Cage cashing in. We've already talked about that one.
Yes. Bad.
Wardlow gets injured the second he returns.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about someone that just needs to find a new job?
Yeah.
It's not even his fault. The world is just cruel to this man.
John Moxley kidnaps the Rock and Roll Express.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Andrade shows up in AEW, then disappears.
That was just funny. That's just funny.
That's just Andrade being mentally redacted.
Yeah, like the Epstein files.
They must have been reading that contract.
2 hours in, and we finally said it. I was waiting for when it was coming up. I wasn't going to be the one to do it, but I was waiting for when it was coming up. Go ahead.
Well, you knew the liberal was going to do it. Anyways.
Damn. Wow.
Lyra Valkyria suplexing Becky Lynch so hard she gets her advertise.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then desperately tries to put them back on.
Over John Cena.
Yep.
Yeah.
Charlotte winning the Royal Rumble.
No, Jay was worst.
They were both bad.
I think
Jay was
they were both bad.
Jay was worse.
Because he beat John Cena.
Charlotte was short-term bad. We're still recovering from Jey Uso.
But no, it has to be Travis Scott beating Cody Rhodes at the Elimination Chamber, making him bleed from the ear.
Yeah, that's one.
And then
Travis
never
Scott,
getting his receipt.
Travis Scott being a person.
And then Travis Scott fucking off because he had a shitty attitude and didn't want to train.
To the surprise of nobody.
Which further makes the ending of Mania 41 even more infuriating. All of that was for nothing.
Yep.
Right. But again, if I have to pick one, it's going to be the ending of 41.
Thanks.
Again, there's been so many bad moments. Some of them funny.
Here you go,
like
Travis Scott.
And then disappearing.
Everything about that decision at 41, the ending of night 2, it is legitimately one of the dumbest things I've ever seen this company do.
Well, here you go.
But the thing is that we've talked about it so much, like, you know.
God, you're not wrong.
Well, Travis wanted a custom belt. Now he's got one.
I
go,
don't
buddy.
drink, but maybe I should.
But nah. Well, let's continue on with the crap. You know what? Let's finish off because we've got 2 Crapleys and three big ones. Let's finish off with all the bad ones, and then we'll finish off on a positive. So let's do the worst men's wrestler of the year.
Jon Moxley.
Well, thank you, Skylar. As JoshAgeddon, why don't you go next?
No yeet. No yeet. I don't ever want to hear that word again. Jey Uso.
Yeah.
Why do you do this? Why are you so bad at this?
Guys, can we nominate both of them to win?
You literally had one job, Jay. To be
God.
good at wrestling. And you got so bad. Your promos are awful. You've shown that you can do a good promo, but because of your stupid gimmick and the way you talk, every single time you try to be serious, you have a crowd of idiots behind you going, "Yay!" Everything about you sucks. Every time you're outside of a wrestling ring, outside of a wrestling show, you're drunk off your ass, and it makes me want to run you over with my car. Everything about you sucks. Literally, my evidence as to why Jey Uso should win this is literally anything he succeeded at this year was met with an avalanche of dislikes. Win the Royal Rumble, dislikes. Wins the World Championship, dislikes. Wins a Battle Royal that LA Knight didn't win, dislikes. Fuck you, Jey Uso. You are literally the worst. You are literally the worst. That's my nomination.
I'm going to agree with both of you, actually. And I'm going to say, in the same way that we gave it to 2 women, I think we need to give this to both of them. I think they've both deserved it for damaging both of their respective companies to such a dire degree.
Oh, yeah.
I think they've earned it. As now that means, by the way, that Jon Moxley won 1, 2, 3, not counting that one, despite what you want to say to me. 4, 5, won 5 of the. All right, fuck it, 6. He won 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 of them.
It's a battle between the Johns.
This is that's some intense level bad right there. That is some intense.
That's Jon Moxley.
And let's finish off. And this one's going to be hard because there are a lot of choices. The worst booker of the year.
Mine's going to be
No, it's not going to be hard. Tony Khan.
Well, the thing is, Tony Khan has sucked in the same way that he's always sucked. In the same way that I feel like it is just such a dire regression right now when it comes to what the WWE is. I'm sorry. I'm going to nominate Hunter. Because
we give it to both of them.
It shouldn't be like this. It shouldn't be like, bottom line, it shouldn't be like this. We shouldn't be sitting here with less interest than we did during the Vince era in wrestling as a result of what this year has been. It's
His
not
booking
right.
Made people actively miss Vince.
To the point where people were terrified he'd come back on the show you nominated John Cena to win an award for.
Yeah.
So
my nomination is not Tony Khan. We're used to how awful Tony Khan is. We're not used to this with Triple H. I'm also nominating Triple H.
And
this is so many things, like the starting of something and dragging it out and just having it go nowhere. The New Day, the thing with Otis and Chad, which was more last year, but it should have been a warning and a precursor to this year.
Yeah. Chad Gable, period. He did the Grande Americano thing, and then what that turned out into.
Which I still hate, which is still ongoing, and is also infected Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate.
To the point where AAA loves that shit, and we do not.
Just Triple H, dude, do better. Like, what the hell, man? Triple H has been the worst booker of the year, because imagine telling us that last year.
I know.
Imagine WrestleMania 40 ends, and then our future selves say, and the winner for worst booker of 2025 is Triple H. We would be you're lying.
We would have laughed. Well,
you're lying.
God, it shouldn't be like this, man. It's just,
it should.
I'm so sad. But let's move on to glad stuff.
Yeah.
We got 3 more, and then we're done, as we have got ourselves a hell of a Christmas couple hours left. As let's go to women.
Oh, I thought you were saying good stuff.
Well, it's the best women of the year.
Okay.
And since Skylar has just like overtly blurted out his nominee with very succinct order the past couple of runs, thus ruining the turnstile, I will defer to JoshAgeddon to decide what your nominee is
I'm
for
sorry,
Women's Wrestler of the Year.
Dinner is calling, and I'd like to eat soon.
Well, there's not a whole lot of options. Stephanie Vaquer is very good. Rhea Ripley's very good, but she's kind of doing the same thing over and over again. I get the feeling they're not quite sure what to do with her. There's one woman who's really had a breakout year this year, and everything she's done she's had fantastic women's matches on Raw, and I usually skip women's matches on Raw. Io Sky, she's my pick for Women's Wrestler of the Year. She's had nothing but fantastic matches all year.
Skylar?
See, that's where you're wrong, Joshua, because Stephanie Vaquer has been a star. She's been amazing. They see the potential in her. She won a lot of championships in NXT and then went to the main roster and did not skip a beat.
She is also a good pick.
Well,
look, she made a Nikki Bella match passable, okay?
That is a Herculean effort.
Yeah,
not even Becky Lynch could achieve that much.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm with Skylar on this one. Not that Io Sky hasn't had a great year. She has.
I'm fine with her being the runner-up in this category.
She has. But I think Stephanie Vaquer has had a very wonderful trait throughout her whole career, from going and working those few shows of, what was it? Not Worlds Collide. What was it called? Yeah, well, I know in AEW, but what was the Forbidden Door, right? She did like a match there, a couple there for AEW, and then laterally transitioned over.
Mercedes Moné and Salo was going to happen, and she's like, nope.
Then she moved over to NXT, and it was instant with her. And then she moves up to the main roster, and it's instant with her. And people like her. I am concerned, however, that it will not last, because I'm worried that people, like half of the people, only like her because of ass. So
that is true.
But her work
Rhea Ripley is able to get by with that. So, come on.
She doesn't use her ass as a move.
True, but she's also not winning this year, is she? As there's only so far that gets you, especially when everybody is using Rhea Ripley as the stepping stone to make them feel more important. But you can only do that so many times with your cash cow before it actually starts to hurt their image. So that's a story and a discussion for another time. But I'm going to say Stephanie Vaquer on this one.
Guys, come on. Let's do it all together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Right.
Well,
This got super gay super fast.
That's
anyway,
let's move on to
which is how I like it. Move on.
Well, better than liking them young. And speaking of young,
oh my god.
Let's move on to the rookie spotlight for potential.
Oh no.
As
what a segue.
Let's see if we can groom the next generation of wrestling talent.
For the love of God, please no. We already made a reference to Epstein. We already did that.
Well,
Don did not kill himself.
Well, I don't think that Bubba is going to be involved in this one, but we'll leave that to his podcast. But in any case, this is a I will start this one off and say Javon Evans. The matches I have seen of Javon Evans have been incredibly promising. He could do a lot of really, really high intensity stuff, but he's got, like, as soon as he starts to understand or like put together when to time the crowd interactions, he is going to be Rey Mysterio-esque, I think, in terms of popularity, if they can cultivate him right, which I'm not confident in, by the way, but if they cultivate him right.
He's like, what, 21?
He's 21 years old. He, I think, is the male equivalent in potential of Roxanne Perret.
Oh yeah.
So he is my pick for that spot.
That is a good pick.
Skylar.
I mean, as much as he has potential, I look at Obafemi and I say, my God, you are basically Black Braun Breaker. Like, this dude is built. He is powerful. He hasn't been wrestling that long, and he doesn't have the family history. But my God, he is amazing.
He's
and
getting
I think as soon as he gets called up to the main roster, you give him a mid-card title, you let him fly. He's going to be a world champion in the next 5 years, guaranteed.
If Triple H doesn't screw everything up, which is given this year, I'm afraid. I'm very afraid.
Look, Joshua, there are very few people who are not fuckable or, incapable of screwing up.
What?
We're not talking about Tony Khan.
The point is that I think Obafemi is like one of the people that they are not going to be able to mess up.
And my pick for faux pas of the year goes to
that was Skylar.
Okay.
You've been on it all night.
Skylar's been on another level tonight, man. But I'm breaking this tie, and I'm also going with Obafemi.
That's totally fine. He's good. He's really good.
Is tremendous. And everything you just said, and he's a good promo. There's something about his intensity mixed with his Nigerian accent that just works. He's so good at everything he does. Just my goodness. Black Lesnar.
Well, and now we get to our final category of the night, the final grapply to go out. And that match is the men's match of the year. JoshAgeddon, why don't you begin?
I dropped my phone. Best match of the year, us versus technology.
That's been going on for like 15 years, man.
For eons, and will continue to.
And will continue to for eons. Yes.
Yeah. There's so many. There were several good matches this year. Like, I want to give a shout out to. I know you're probably picking this one, Sean. CM Punk and Gunther was fantastic, but it's not my pick. John Cena and Cody at SummerSlam was fantastic. Not my pick. John Cena, AJ Styles was fantastic. Not my pick. John Cena had such a good year despite
he did have a good year.
Crap booking.
He did have a good year.
John Cena and Gunther was fantastic. Not my pick. My pick for match of the year is a match I literally watched today because it was so good, and I love it even more. CM Punk versus Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
It's a good choice. It's a good choice. That was
such a fantastic match. Everything about that clicked and worked. Honestly, if the match sucked and CM Punk still came out with the This Fire Burns video package, that still would get my pick because that was so incredible. Everything about that was a home run.
And it was Punk's first main event, WrestleMania main event, albeit night one, but it's still a main event.
Absolutely.
And so it's a good choice. Skylar?
I mean, I'm gonna be that guy, and I'm just gonna say it: John Cena versus Cody Rhodes, SummerSlam.
That's a good pick. A good pick.
I mean, it wasn't the best John Cena match of the year, but it's the one that kind of had the highest high note.
I think that's fair. And I thought about doing Punk and Gunther at SummerSlam. I still think that was the best pure wrestling match I've seen this year.
It was the best singles match.
Well, it was the best pure match I've seen. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but it's like a one fall match, just a regular old match. Right. But that isn't the match I nominated. The match I nominated had a more personal feud attached to it. It blew off a feud. I'm just sad that it ultimately might mark the end of an era when it comes to one of the participants involved, and I hope I'm incorrect about that because we saw him recently. But my pick for match of the year is the ladder match between Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens at the Rumble.
That is also
that match
really good.
Slapped.
That's the best ladder match they've done in a while.
The match ended with an Alabama slam through the ladder. That, not to mention the suplex bomb where Cody landed, like Kevin landed on his head, and it looked like Cody landed on his head too, and it looked like their necks collided.
Yeah. Or the Fisherman Buster on the ladder bridge, which was insane.
No, that's what I was talking about. I'm sorry. That's what I meant.
And the power bomb on the ladder, where the ladder kind of at the last second went the wrong way, and how was Cody Rhodes not dead?
I mean, and the blood, and it was just.
Oh yeah.
That match was great, and it was before it began.
Before the end began.
It was the match before it all started to go downhill. Well, then Charlotte had already won, but still. You didn't know, you didn't know that the luge had already started. It was.
No one really cares about the women.
Well, that is the statement that's been made on this program
repeatedly, and
so
made many times in the future.
So these are three good choices.
Oh, what
these are three very good choices.
Yes, but if we're going to bend one way or the other, I think I will bend for the WrestleMania main events.
I think it's fair. I think the triple threat was very good. It was the match of the weekend for sure. For sure.
Also, if John Cena and Brock Lesnar had led to something better.
Yeah.
If John Cena and Brock Lesnar had led to something at all,
it led to a match.
Sure.
On a C show rated by ESPN.
And ESPN, thank you so much for giving them a low rating. They needed that kick in the pants, and it resulted in a good pay-per-view that was Crown Jewel. What was the grade, the ESPN grade for Survivor Series?
B-.
I want a good Rumble.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But again, for CM Punk getting a main event, I'll give it to him.
That's totally fair. That's totally fair.
Besides, John Cena's won enough today.
True. And amazingly, that is the first Grapply that Roman has won. He hasn't
been around and he hasn't done much, and when he's done stuff, it's with Jey Uso.
Yeah, last year, I mean, he got a few, but yeah, this is a wild night and a great 6th annual Grapplies, and who knows what we're gonna see and what we're gonna be talking about throughout 2026. But gents, it is always a great time coming out here on Christmas night, giving out these awards and registering our complaints for the world to watch. So thank you both for being a part of the Court-Martail podcast for year number 6, and here's to year number 7 along the way.
Absolutely. And thank you guys for listening to the Totally Awesome podcast. You enjoyed the live stream, and my stuff hasn't crashed. I probably should stop the recording before I jinx it. So I'm going to sign off. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Say goodbye, both of my friends here that I love so much.
Look at his stuff.
Later.
Have a good night, everybody.
That's right. Coughing's how we're ending this stream. I hope it was worth it.